Welcome to the Friday show. I hope you're all doing great today. It's Zandra to my friends, which is all of you. So glad you could make it here. Today, what are we talking about? I'm super stoked. We're going to be talking about overcoming that inner critic that the majority of us, and if you don't have an inner critic, hallelujah, you are going to rule the world, because a lot of us are stuck feeling, are we good enough? Are we smart enough? Are we fast enough? Are we right? Do we have the brains in our head to do this stuff? Well, I'm here to talk to you for the next few weeks, just not today. Pardon me. We're going into a 4-week series, and the next 4 Fridays, possibly 5, we're still looking at the content, we're going to be talking about how to overcome this inner critic, or how to overcome this mindset block, this bad medicine, this bad voodoo that we got circling around in our heads. So it's super important to get a hold of that shit, because if not, it will sabotage you. It will make you believe things about yourself that are not true. And it'll just stop you from getting the things that you want to get in your life. So time to manage our inner critic and then get you guys back to your life. So what are we talking about here? Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm so excited. If you're watching this live, it's during the Olympics, and man, do I love the Olympics. It's my jam. And right now I'm watching artistic gymnastics, I think they call it now. It used to be rhythmic gymnastics, but they keep changing all the names of the events, which is really stressing me out, but really doesn't matter. I love it anyways. So what are we? Oh, and I want to just say thanks. As you see these crazy kids behind me, 2019, 80s in the sand. What a day. This is my beautiful friend, Tess. I love you so much, girl. A couple of my other buddies in there in the background, Denise, and my beautiful, oh, Jesus, Debbie. Sorry, my brain is going, I'm looking at her right now. My brain's going dead. That's what happens when you try to think when you talk at the same time. It doesn't work all the time. But this was us in 2019, rocking our ass off and having as much fun as we could. We all just had a great time. And so much of it, I talked to so many people about mindset, right? About how they felt about it, because we were really a bunch of 60s and 70s babies that were hanging out together and all just trying to have fun and basically feeling like we were in high school again, but we're not high school age. So there was a lot of us going, how do I act here? Like, am I an idiot? Am I having too much fun? Am I, right? Like what does my body look like? It doesn't look like I'm 20 anymore. I, how do I make friends? Right? You feel like it's angst all over again. And so much of it was a lot of us, I think, dealing with just our inner critic and our mindset blocks that were allowing us to feel maybe not so spectacular, not so beautiful out on the beach or at the pool. Some of you worked that shit hard. Thank you for that, because you inspired me to rock my ass off all week. But, right, it can be hard, right, to put yourself out there and just to really start to feel like you're okay and you can do whatever you want, right? Because we all give into our inner critic now and then. So I don't want to say that I'm always confident. Oh, hell no. I am constantly beating up on myself, putting bad medicine on myself. But I really have to just get focused again on, wait a minute, is that going to help the situation? Is that going to help me feel better, faster, stronger? No, probably not. So what do I need to do? I need to defeat that inner critic, and I need to start giving myself some good medicine, some love, the things that we all need to grow to be able to reach our goals. So if you are shitting on yourself or shouldn't on yourself, right? You should be doing this and you should be doing that, or just your shit. You shouldn't be doing that, man, because whatever you say to yourself, whatever you believe, it's what your reality is, even if it's not really happening. Does that make sense? So you may believe that, oh, this person doesn't like me. We're never going to, this isn't going to work out, or this job I want to get, I bombed on that interview. And that's what your reality is. You stank. You're a terrible person. You're never going to get a job. You're going to be unemployed for the rest of your life. But that never really happened. What really happened is that you did great. Were you perfect? No, because nobody is. You did the best you damn could. And you know what? You probably impressed some people. And you know who I'm talking to out there. Just had a great conversation with somebody about this. But we really start to, this internal voice can sabotage us and hold us back from living our kick-assiest life, you know? And for years, I let it do that to me. Oh no, I can't do this. I don't deserve that. I should just be content. I should just be happy with what I have. Whatever the creator, God, Yahweh, whatever you want to call your spiritual advisor, the spirit energy, they're gonna, you know, good girls shouldn't ask for, good people shouldn't ask for too much. And I'm gonna get, if I'm just a good person, I'm a nice person, I work hard, then I'm going to get everything that I deserve in life. And you know what? Sometimes bad things, lots of bad things happen to people, good people. And so we'll start to believe that that's what our lot is in life, that we're unlucky, that we're undeserving, that bad stuff happens to us. And what we need to just start doing is saying, you know what? I'm going to look for the positive. I'm going to focus on what I can control. And you know what? I've been dealt a whole bunch of shitty cards, but that's the way Vegas works. The next card could be the winning card. And I need you to start to put yourself in that belief that you are in control of your destiny, that you are amazing, that you are fantastic right now, right here. Yeah. Some of you are like, yeah, Zan, there's some real douchebags out there. They're not in this group and they're not listening to this, this live with you right now. So don't worry about them. They're not here. They're doing something else. They're being douchey somewhere else. And I've scared all of them off now. So sorry. I always chuckle when people go, I'm scared to post stuff on Facebook. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, my friends and my cousin and this and that. And I'm like, holy shit, kick them off your Facebook page. Why are we allowing people to poison our personal space, our mental space, our spiritual space, our physical space, and even our virtual space? Kick that shit out of there. Unfollow them, unfriend them, do something, take control of your external and your internal critics, because those external critics often feed our internal critic. Most of us have an inner critic because of what somebody told us one time, or maybe many times, something we heard, something that was said off the cuff about somebody else and we thought they were talking about us, right? I've been in situations like that because it's just my nature. It's my nature to go, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And whether that's trauma, whether that's my personality type, there's a whole bunch of stuff behind that, but we won't go there. But right, so it's instantly where we blame ourselves. And that's our inner critic, right? Just stepping up to go, oh, I'm not good enough, smart enough, fast enough. Get over it. You are amazing. And so am I. And it's time for us. If we want to make any real change, it's time is ticking, man. It's now. It's here. It's not too late. It's never too late. But you know what? I also don't want you to have your last breath to be going, holy shit, I wish I would have done something differently. I wish I wouldn't have listened to those voices or those past messages that were keeping me held hostage, that inner critic, right? Because the fact is, your inner critic, the sad thing is, I think there's some kind of protection mechanism where a lot of times it's trying to protect you. Because what if you're not good enough? What if you're not smart enough? I really don't want you to get too confident in yourself, because then if you fall off the cliff, holy shit, it's going to be so hard on your psyche. So I think a lot of times our ego does it to protect us, different parts of our brain. The inner critic is trying to not let us get hurt a lot of times. And it's even the people who told us the message. If it was a parent or a family member who maybe had all their dreams crushed by someone else, and they're telling you, don't even bother. You're never going to get there. It's not going to happen for you. It can seem like the most heart-wrenching thing. And wow, what's wrong with them? I've learned a lot of people, they do it once they've understood why they did the things that they did. They've gone through their healing. They're like, oh my God, I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was trying to protect you from the badness of the things that I went through, except people weren't as nice to me as the way I said it to you, right? And that's what'll happen too with trauma, or the way we treat people. If we treat people even 1 iota, 1%, 0.5% better than we were treated when we're unhealthy, we'll go, oh, well, what are you crying about? You have it better than I do. So it's really important, right, for us to turn up our own strength, our own emotional intelligence, so we can get rid of this inner critic, because man, it is poisoning you, right? So that's what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks here, is we're going to be learning to deal with this. I'm going to share a system with you to effectively deal with this crap, man, and get it out of your head, okay? Because once you recognize that negative inner voice and the power that it's exerting over you, Baby, you have the ability to make real and lasting change. I promise you. People think reaching their goals is hard work and it's this. No, it starts up here. Well, I guess if it's hard work for you and you don't do the work, then yeah, but there's no magic to it. It's follow the steps. It's learn to, address these things, right? It's time to get active and say, you know what? I'm 8, 18, 28, 48, 88. I don't know how old you are. Is today the first day of the rest of your life where you're deciding to kick that inner critic out of your head? It isn't paying rent. And it sure as hell ain't helping you get ahead and get the things that you want in your life. Okay. Is it keeping you safe? Sometimes it might be making you play safe. But the fact is, you're not 8 years old anymore, right? You're not, a lot of you aren't even 18 anymore, right? You don't need to be protected in that way that you did when you were a little kid, when you didn't have control over you. You're a grown up now. So it's time to say, giddy up, yeehaw, and get moving towards what you want. Alrighty. So it's time, right? So I'm so glad you're here to deal with this challenge your inner critic. Today is part 1 of a 5-part video series. So stay tuned for it. In this series, I'm going to share with you a 4-step system to help you to learn to manage your negative self-talk in productive and meaningful ways. Sound good? I hope so. All right. So we talked a little bit about it already. Don't worry about it. We're going to be coming to you with each one of the 4 steps. And what I want to tell you, first of all, is negative self-talk. Like I said, I talk a lot about the 8-year-old because I believe that's where a lot of our negativity came from, was when we were 8 years old. It's when people started planting these seeds, when we were so happy and joyous, and then shit started to happen. And we started to go, yeah, life ain't that easy and it ain't that perfect. And people started to feed us that message. You ain't all as good. And man, life is hard. Life is hard, right? And so we started to believe that. And then certain things happen and people would say, this is all your fault, right? Any of these stories, you failed a test, you failed a grade. Somebody you really cared about broke up with you or died. And not to get all counseling, like not to go all existential, but like seriously. And then we internalize that and we'll make up stories about it. Oh my God, it was my fault. If I would have been there, why didn't I ask them? I should have tried harder. You know what? What I'm going to tell you, that's yes, I totally understand that feeling, that the way you beat yourselves up. But what I want you to know is you're not that same person that you were 5 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago, when you started this webinar, yesterday, 10 days ago, 2 years ago. So I want you to know that you are constantly changing. You are constantly evolving into the next version of yourself, right? We're like snakes. We're just constantly shedding our skin. So we need to realize that even those stories, even if they were true and he goes, yeah, Zan, but I did do this or I didn't do this. And that's why I deserve this constant self beating up, mutilation, whatever you want to call it, right? But what I want to tell you is you don't. The fact is, if you continue just to stay where you're at and you never try to make amends, you never try to learn from that experience, then it is a waste. And it's a shame, but it's a waste of your time. It's a waste of the thing happening to you. And you just sitting there living stuck is a waste. So what we need to start doing is going, no, the best way that I can make amends, the best way that I can change yesterday is to start today making tomorrow better. What am I doing right now to get closer to the person that I want to be? Shit, man, you've waited too long. I've waited too long. It's time. It's time. Everybody talks about waiting forward to go back to the normal or the new normal. Fuck that. I'm creating my own normal, baby. Normal is what I make it. It's not what everybody else is, what the standard is. What do you want your normal to be? Then start creating that shit, okay? Don't wait around for somebody else to make it happen for you. And I know it can seem scary and I know it can seem like, holy shit, Zan, you don't know my life. And I don't. But the fact is, we can all sit here and go, yeah, you're right. I don't know your life. Oh, it's too bad. Guess you should just go lay down somewhere and never wake up again. I don't believe that. I don't care what your life is. I believe that you go, it's like a freaking rodeo, people, which isn't on the Olympics, but it should be. Grab that steer by the horns and just wrestle that thing into the ground. Make it yours. But don't sit around waiting for a minute longer for somebody else to say that you're okay, that you're good enough, you're smart enough, you're most talented, because it won't stick anyways. We need to be able to say it and believe it ourselves. Alrighty. So we need to really understand where our negative self-talk comes from, where that inner critic, and we'll be working through that. Don't worry. Today's just our intro. You need to reframe your thoughts. Okay. That's a big part of this is I used to think this way. How do I change the way I think? Because our brains are like anything. When we rub into it or scrape into it long enough, we leave an indentation, right? If it's a rock, think about your brain as that. Or it's a computer where you can't really delete anything off of your hard drive. You can only overwrite it. So that's what I want you to think about. And it's the same with your memories and your self-talk. You can't just go, oh no, I'm not going to think that thought anymore. It doesn't work that way because that's the only thought your brain will hold on to and it will keep replaying it. You need to start to reprogram it and record something else over that. And we'll talk about that in the weeks to come. All right. And it's like building muscles. It's about creating new neural pathways, redirecting, getting them reconnected. So we've got activities that I'm going to be sharing with you over the next several weeks. So I hope you stay tuned. I hope if you think this is interesting that you invite some people to our group or to the YouTube page or wherever you're watching this right now, or share it with them. Right? So just know that you can recreate this. And some people go to counseling for this. Some people go to have coaches for that. I'm going to give you some steps. And this isn't counseling. If you feel like you're struggling with these steps and getting through them, well, then I want you to reach out and send me a message and say, Zan, I'd like to chat with you for a half an hour about how I can overcome my inner critic or how I can implement these steps into my own life. All right. It's like getting a personal trainer for your brain, right? Or maybe it is saying you need to go check into some counseling, and it's not a bad thing. These are all people that can help you speed, kickstart and skyrocket you past all of this stuff and move you along your journey. All righty. So, and I promise I'll give you a bunch of strategies on a daily basis that'll help you walk through these things. And then finally, you're like, okay, what are the 4 steps? Get on with it. And you notice, Mike, I don't have I put my piano away this week. So 4 steps that we're going to cover that will help you overcome and challenge your inner critic. All right. Challenge and overcome your inner critic. So step 1, acknowledge your inner critical thoughts. And we'll have some activities for you next week. So join me next Friday to start working on that first step. All right. Acknowledge your critical thoughts. Step 2, refute your critical thoughts. What does this mean? It doesn't just mean, no, they're not true. I don't believe them anymore. Refuting is actually picking them apart and proving to yourself in a court of law in your brain why they're not true. And if they are true, we're true. What are we going to do to change them? What's the new message that we need to? What is the more supporting thought? Because people go, yeah, Zan, but I am a procrastinator. Well, you just saying I'm a procrastinator is going to help you not become a procrastinator if that's what you want. We need to actually pull it apart at the root of it. What is it? And it might be ADHD. It might be a learning disability, but it could also be a way that you see yourself, a message that was planted in your mind many, many years ago, and that you just keep letting it replay in your head. So there's lots of different things that we need to do, but you need to pull it apart, chop it up, and really look at it under a microscope. All right. Number 3, you need to start taking action. Everybody says that they're doing this stuff. And yeah, I'm saying my mantras every day. I'm doing this and it's not working for me. Well, just when you say it like that, I know you're not committing to it 100%. Or maybe you watched a video, or maybe you think just showing up here and is doing the trick. It's not. You got to actually act on the suggestions that you get in the world, whether it's through Google or through me or through your doctor or through your counselor or whoever. Right? You need to actually start taking action, real action towards your goals. Does it always have to be massive action? No, it might be breaking it down into the tiniest, smallest step. Because this is a goal like anything else. Overcoming, challenging your inner critic is a goal. And how do we reach our goals? Tiny little steps, tiny little habits every single day. And then finally, number 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, and 4. You need to review your progress and celebrate your success. Yeah, I know. Sure. What is this, my award ceremony at the end of the school year? Yeah, Pretty much. That's why they did it. It's because people like us who love praise and certificates were like, oh, I'm going to work hard all week to get this certificate. And it was so funny because I drank and was did other things all through high school and pretty much junior high school. And I was still driven to be on the honor roll. And I was still driven to do all these things. So it's kind of funny. I look at it and people say, oh, no, that's not for everyone. Yeah, I didn't think it was for me either. And it still incentivized me. But that's what it means. It's about checking in. What is my report card? How am I doing on my goals? That's about accountability. It's about having somebody that you can talk to about what it is, these thoughts that you're having. Because to me, it is a goal. So what do? It's the same thing like any goal. We got to break it down into small steps. We've got to be able to review those steps at regular intervals. It's got to be a smart thing, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And that's it, is giving yourself time. Like every day, I'm going to work on my positive mantras. I'm going to do this. It might be part of your morning routine of how you start talking to yourself in the morning. How do you start your day? Do you start up going, oh God, this is going to be a hard day. I'm going to be, I didn't get this done. Blah. Or do you get up going, man, I didn't get enough sleep last night, but you know what? I'm going to drink a couple of extra glasses of water. I'm going to stretch in bed today because you know what? I should have got more sleep, but oh well, I'm going to make this the best day that I can. Big difference, right? And then stretch like a cat, right? Don't just jump out of bed because nobody wants to. It's like being thrown into cold water. Take time, right? That's why it's a great place to do some meditation, do the beginnings of your yoga, 5-minute routine in the morning before you jump out of bed, man. Anyway, and then finally you want to celebrate your success and you want to be able to say, you know what? You're not so bad. Look what you did. You made it through a week of this. You watched all 4 of Zan's lives. You started doing the homework. Right? So I want you to get excited about it. All right? Because once we do this, man, once you start to rewrite those messages, because you go, this is hard, Zan. Yes, but it's like anything. Once the program is in our brain, it's there. Right? It's there. So once we rewrite those messages and we make sure that you have a routine, a way of fortifying yourself all the time to make sure that those critical thoughts don't get back in, you're set, baby. Your message is changed. So that is where we are working towards over the next 4 weeks. And I've got a call to action for you. So this is interesting. Please, 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 please tell your friends, join them, come on down. Let me know what you think. And what I'd really love is if you could let me know that you saw this, you watched it live, #live, or on the replay, #replay. At the very least, like it. Get angry at it. Put an emoji for me. Let me know how you feel about this, right? This is really hard. And because of my inner critic, I go, people didn't show up. Not enough people watched. Oh my God, I'm going to stop doing it. So if you don't want me to stop doing it, my ego screams, let me know that you're out there. All right. Let me know those critical thoughts that you're having about yourself that are keeping you held back so that we can start to help you address them. All right. My call to action, invite your friends, right? People you care about. Send them to my YouTube page, bring them here, whatever you think. Don't just add them to the group. Actually copy the link to this group and say, you got to come and join this group. This chick says a lot of good things or whatever you want to say. But what I want to know is if anybody would like I have a workbook and a set of notes and an ebook that I am using that I've created and I'm using as my notes for this next 5 weeks. So there's actually an easy little workbook that goes along with it and a really cool set of notes. If you would like this, my call to action is that you let me know. I don't care how you do it. You comment below, I want the ebook and the workbook. I want the books. Give me the books, right? That's what you can say. Private message me. Say you're not really into that. Well, send me a message on Messenger and say, Zan, I want the books. If you're on YouTube, send me a message below, books. I think I might need to get you we'll message you and I'll make sure to get your email address and I'll email them to you. So wherever you're getting this right now, don't worry about it. Just let me know. Give me the books and we will make sure that you get these books into your hot little hands. All right. So I'm dying to know what you think of this video. So please comment below. So glad you could join. And thanks. I can't wait to be partying with this beautiful. I wish I could get my hands around. Oh, I keep getting my own hands. It's really. Oh, I love you, Tess. I love you, Denise. I love you, Debbie. I love all of you. I cannot wait to. I'm counting down to October to get back to 80s in the sand. And I promise you, my inner critic will be out there. I will be dancing hard on that pool deck as always. So have a great day. Have a great weekend. And let me know what you think. What is your inner critic telling you? And do you want the books, man? Because today is the first day of the rest of your life.